Air is everywhere. It's kind of spacey and empty, and it can really just go with whatever, and it can't be contained, at least not indefinitely. It is the social element, whether it's on a wide scale or on a smaller scale. Air is always about social matters. Air is concerned with keeping the peace, communicating with people, and intelligence. Gemini is like the conversations you have with people in your immediate surroundings and the little things that you talk about over a short period of time. Gemini keeps you young wherever it is in your chart, and people who have a Gemini ascendant or, even a Gemini face to an extent, like they'll look young longer. Gemini is represented by the twins, and that means it feels like there are two of you and the energies are split. Gemini is the most talkative sign. They bounce from one thing to another and have multiple perspectives, multiple directions, etc. They react and they think so quickly that a lot of times what they actually want or what they actually mean is unclear. For every thought that pops into a Gemini's head, another appears. Gemini is like two completely different people who want two completely different things, like within that one person, whereas Libras just can't make up their minds because they're trying to find the best and the most harmonious option. This is my cat who is a Gemini, and just as an example of how good Gemini is at communicating, because Gemini is the ultimate communicator. Most cats, they don't really respond to what you're saying at all. They just act completely indifferent, like if you're telling them to stop doing something or to come here or, just trying to communicate anything to them. But I thoroughly believe that my Gemini cat understands everything that my husband and I say to her. I can call her over if I want. I can tell her to stop doing something. She's good at communicating with us too. I have Mars in Gemini, and that is the most annoying placement ever. If you think you know the most annoying person in the world, yet you look at their chart and they don't have Mars in Gemini, you're wrong. They could probably be a lot more annoying than they already are. So when I express my aggression, what I do is there's one side of me that is really just trying to piss people off, and I'll do it with words, mostly words, or whatever else. And then there's this other side of me that's just trying to get along with them and being nice and apologizing and trying to smooth things over. I really shouldn't talk about it anymore because you're going to hate me if you know the details. Now Libra is represented by the balance scales. And yeah, they're the inanimate object of the zodiac because everyone else is represented by some kind of animal or person or even multiple people. So Libra is this shiny set of balance scales, and with their hypnotic beauty they will lure people in to joining them and helping them to keep the balance that they seek. Because you can't keep balance with just one person. Libra is all about partnerships. So Libra is the most charming sign. They are harmonious, and harmony needs to be maintained. That is where the danger comes in. They're listeners, not just speakers. They feel like they've seen all perspectives and can make decisions like a judge. They want to keep the world pleasant, even though some of them don't know how. They cannot do things quickly. Gemini is the quick one that always has the energy to keep talking and talking, and Libra needs to kind of take things slow to keep the harmony going or whatever. It's like they're creating a work of art when they're just going through the normal processes of how to say something without hurting someone's feelings. And this is what Libra pretty much has to do. They can't just start throwing stuff on different sides of the scale and hope it ends up being balanced. They have to be careful about it. When I think of Libra, I think of ancient Roman art, where they had to get everything perfectly proportioned and they really idealized perfect beauty. Libra has that romantic idea of perfection and beauty, whereas Virgo is more realistic and sees that things really aren't perfect. Libra is idealistic and not always realistic. They make things seem effortless and easy. They're big on sharing. They can't just take things for themselves. It's like they don't really feel super entitled to anything the way that Aries does. When Libra and Pisces combine in a person, it's like this weirdly selfless sharing thing happens. Alyssa worked hard establishing herself on YouTube, and I thought it was pretty weird when she decided that she wanted to share that with me. It just came up one day, and I'm like, why does she want to like share her hard work and like success with me, I'm starting to understand it now though. I think the way she sees it, her success could be better with a partner. And I think most signs, and probably most people in general, would be too selfish to see that. And to me it seemed abrupt, but I think she was thinking about it over a way longer period of time than I had initially realized. Libra is the romantic air sign. They have an intelligent approach to romance. Libra is intelligence meets beauty, and they can make things seem beautiful even when they're not. So again, that's why sometimes Libras can be kind of dangerous. It gives them the ability to hide evil, and I think a Libra could sing you to death. Aquarius is the social politics. It's the broad, worldwide sense of relating to people. Their new ideas are what keep them young. Now before I do this, I want to say that I love most of the Aquariuses that I know. But Aquarius is a sign that struggles with being self-aware, and I'm not just talking about Aquarius sun signs. Wherever you have Aquarius in your chart, you might have trouble being self-aware. That can be a dangerous thing. When you are not self-aware, you can end up getting way out of hand. And I made this bracelet for Uranus. It's your ruling planet. Aquarius is the humanitarian. They bring water to anyone who needs it. But the thing is, sometimes there's someone who's sitting right next to you that needs something other than water. Aquarius is the most innovative sign. They will come up with things that other people will not. They'll be able to come up with different ideas and advantages that other people didn't think of. Aquarius is not a very personal sign, and a lot of people feel like it doesn't really resonate with them. Aquarius is about humanity, and they're detached because they're not really thinking about their own individual life so much. They're not the star player in their own lives. They're not in the spotlight. The only spotlight that I think Aquariuses know of is the sun, and the sun touches everyone on Earth. It's easy to not really know what's going on with an Aquarius people, and I want to say that they don't really know either, and that's what makes them unpredictable. Aquarius is a movement greater than itself, and that can cause their own personal matters and their own personal lives to be neglected. Aquarius is the sign of groups, whereas Libra is the sign of partnerships. Aquarius took it to the next extreme. Aquarius is not about the individual. Aquarius is the individual. They can be kind of the uncaring God type. Granted, I will say that I've never known a female Aquarius that seems really full of herself. This tends to be more of a problem for male Aquariuses. They're a fixed sign, which makes them stubborn, and they have a lot of ideas. I don't expect Aquariuses to agree with me because they never do, but what they see of themselves is that they want to help people. What they see is that they want to do what's best. But in the end, is that really what they do? A lot of them don't. They risk being too unworldly and seeing things from too much of an outside perspective to actually be able to do anything meaningful. And it's the Aquariuses who don't have a God complex that I think actually manage to do something. Your humanitarian nature is initially a good thing, but in order for you to keep it a good thing, you have to be personally involved in things, at least to an extent. My dad is an Aquarius, and when I was growing up, he was always there physically, but it's like he wasn't really there. It's like he wasn't really my dad because he was so detached. He had a better relationship with people he barely knew than he did with anyone in his own family and his own household. The air would always be cold without a fire. It's my hat and I'll wear it if I want to, wear it if I want to, wear it if I want to. Do I really want to wear this hat? I just finished making this hat. I decided not to wear the hat because I thought it was distracting, but I think it's pretty cute.